Our top focus at 10 a.m. After days of logjam, chances that the Parliament's monsoon session may yet be salvaged. The government is all set to table the most crucial, most important goods and services tax bill in Rajya Sabha today. The bill has been listed for business in the upper house today. The crucial economic reforms bill has already been passed by the Lok Sabha and was referred to a Rajya Sabha select committee in the last session. Now, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley will move the bill with the changes suggested by the committee. Arun Jaitley will also move that the bill be passed today itself. Most of the changes suggested were related to the formula of sharing revenue with the states. Interestingly, this bill is an initiative of the previous UPA government, and it is the Congress now which is emerging as the single biggest obstacle in the passage of this bill. Now, the government is hoping the cracks within the opposition will ensure the bill sails through in Rajya Sabha, a house where the Modi government is in stark minority. The government aims at rolling out the GST in April next year, that is April 2016. Now, there is some form of apprehension within the Bharatiya Janata Party as well. In fact, for more on the BJP's accusations against the Congress over the goods and services tax bill, let's play out an excerpt from last night's interview of Karan Thapar with Union Minister for Skill Development Rajiv Pratap Rudy, where interestingly he says it looks like the bill might not get passed in the Rajya Sabha. Let's listen in.
Since it's pretty clear that Parliament is not going to function, and for certain the Rajya Sabha is not going to function, do you accept that you will not succeed in passing GST in the monsoon session?
Looks like.
You accept it?
Looks like. What does looks like mean? Looks like.
I'm going to ask you three critical questions. Firstly, if the left, the AIA, DMK and Congress vote against GST because they've already given dissenting notes to the parliamentary bill, do you accept you don't have a 2/3 in the Rajya Sabha in that situation?
Well, the saddest part is the Congress party, which possibly was the architect of the GST. Out of the 8 points which they had been brought in the legislation, they have gone back on the 7 points. So, well, let them answer. So, I would not be able to debate this issue, but let things come back to Parliament, let the debate start, and we would be able to answer you better.
Actually, I'm just asking for a point of factual accuracy. Do you accept that if AIA, DMK,
I do not know,
left and Congress vote against, you don't have a 2/3 in the Rajya Sabha?
I will not talk things hypothetically. I will only talk once the process starts. Just a second. And once the legislation is again moved, discussion starts, possibly I would be in a position to answer. In a hypothetical situation, but we know GST was the brainchild of the Congress party. They were the architect of it. We carried it forward. We revised it. The whole report has come. It's gone to the committee. The report will come. We have tried to build up a political consultation and a consensus. And it's good for the nation, which we all believe, including the Congress party.
Let me come to my.
There were reservations of the states which have been addressed.
Let's come to those details later. Let's stick to Parliament for a moment. I'll come to the details of GST in a moment's time.
No, I will not get into the details of GST.
The first critical question was, if left, AIDMK and Congress vote against, you don't have a 2/3 in the Rajya Sabha. The second critical question is, should
I will not discuss anything about a legislation which has to be brought to Parliament, the numbers, and it will all, this will give you enough opportunity to take this for the next show. But you want to exhaust it now.
The second critical question is to do with procedure. Should a constitution amendment be passed amidst din and disruption in the Rajya Sabha, or do you believe?
Okay, let's now quickly cut across live to Vijay Chowk outside Parliament, where India Today's executive editor Javed Ansari now joins us with all the latest. Javed, it's over to you.
Sanket, I have two eminent parliamentarians with me. On my right is Mr. H.K. Dua. He's been a veteran journalist and now a member of Parliament. He's a member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha. Sushmita from the Congress. Sushmita, all eyes are on Parliament today. Will this all-important GST bill be passed, or will, more importantly, what will be the Congress party's position? Will you allow it to be debated, discussed and passed?
It's a very odd question because the ball is in the court of the government. It is for the Prime Minister of India to choose whether protecting a tainted minister is more important or GST is more important.
Whether asking for the head of a tainted minister is more important or improving India's economy more important?
That's for the Prime Minister to decide. It's his government. We are in the opposition.
The Congress mood is very clear, Mr. Dua, from years of experience in Parliament and outside. What's your assessment? Will this bill see light of day?
There are doubts about it. Let's see what happens. The government is trying to divide the opposition parties. Now, Mulayam Singh has already made it very clear they are against further more disruption of parliament.
Could the government have approached it differently?
Oh, definitely. Government should have arrived at consensus. No parliamentary democracy can function without a consensus among major political parties. And considerably bill of this basic nature, after years of labor, this bill was evolved. And there, the Congress party made Sushil Modi, a BJP leader from Bihar, as the chairman of the Chief Minister's Committee.
And two states, Madhya Pradesh and Mr. Narendra Modi's Gujarat, were the ones who were primarily objecting.
Exactly. And now they are objecting because of electoral reasons or whatever it is. Now, consensus is very important for running a parliamentary democracy. Didn't Obama talk to Republican parties for on health policy? How much torturous process?
So obviously, there hasn't been much of an initiative. Sir, there is also a procedural problem which people have been talking about. There are amendments that the government has to move, and those amendments must need to be circulated overnight. As member of the Rajya Sabha, are you in possession of those?
I haven't received any amendment so far. I've received the bill a few days ago, but I've not received the amendment, not yet.
So that could potentially...
They're on the way. Those are the procedural objection, and they will raise also on procedural objection. Procedures objection are part of parliamentary democracy, but that can be raised only when there is a debate. Now, debate may not take place in Hangama. If you want to pass a major bill like this in Hangama, its validity among the people's eye will get lost.
But the chairman is on record saying that no bill will allow, that he will not agree to passing any bill in the din.
Well, chairman, frankly speaking, will also take into account the importance of the bill, as well as the situation on the ground in the house. On the floor, what is the situation? If people are standing in the well, I don't know whether chairman will take the vote is in order. This is a basic nature of bill which creates certainly a laudable objective, create a common market within the country, clauses apart. And thrashed out after years of arriving at consensus, political consensus in parliament.
I'll come back to it. Shushmita, one of the allegations laid at the door of the Congress party is that this entire agitation is only meant to sabotage the passage of the GST bill. We had done another, and the leader of the Rajya Sabha and finance minister of the country, Arun Jaitley, laid that allegation at your door.
See, with all due respect to Mr. Jaitley, let me refresh his memory. It is them who had stalled the GST for 10 years. And now I think it's a step forward that this government has gone ahead with GST because it's our baby. But the sad part is what this government has failed to do, which the UPA did, when there was a logjam in the parliament, when the UPA realized that it's going against national interest, we asked our ministers that please step down. Your ministry is not important. The nation must work. The economy must grow. That's what the NDA government has failed to show to this nation. The same Prime Minister who said India first is today saying my ministers first. We broke a logjam. The best way forward, we thought in UPA too, is for our ministers to step down so that Parliament goes on. Why can't this government step down from its high horse and tell the country that India first?
Mr. Dua just now made a comment saying that this is also an attempt to divide the opposition. Would you concur?
See, you don't need. I find it very odd that NDA wants to divide the opposition. That's fine. There is a section of the opposition parties who were not pressing for Sushma ji's resignations. I hope I'm right in what I'm saying. Yes. They were considering a debate. Then 25 MPs got suspended. Entire opposition went against that move. That's where they united. But what I find very odd, that the Parliamentary Affairs Minister in Lok Sabha decided to go ahead with Sushma ji's statement when the entire opposition was not there. If they had due respect for those opposition parties who were open to a debate in the Parliament, they should have waited till Monday. It is utter disregard for even those parties who were saying let's debate. So they have no regard for the opposition, be it Congress or Trinamool or any other party.
Sushma, in reply to one question, you said, they used to speak of India first, but they are putting party interests. So why don't you show them the way by putting India first and, scaling back at least debating, discussion? And you have a majority in the upper house. So even if it's debate and discuss, you can vote it out.
See, Mr. Jaitley has brought in the GST bill today, which is a constitutional amendment. It is once again, as far as I am concerned, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
Why?
It's a gimmick because they are not solving the political problem. They have till today, has the Prime Minister said that I stand by Sushma Swaraj. I stand by the fact that she has supported Lalit Modi. He has said none of that. So either Prime Minister is silent because he is complicit, or he doesn't want to support Sushma Swaraj. The nation needs to know. The nation needs to know. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't go say, I am a crusader against corruption, I am Narendra Modi ji, and I will fix everything. And now you're preaching us. You cannot get away with double standards in this nation, and that's where our fight is.
Dua Sahab, the Congress party's position is absolutely clear. Do you believe, not just GST, but do you believe that in the 3 days that are left now, the House will be able to transact any business at all, leave alone a constitutional amendment?
I have my doubts because there is no consensus and no effort is being made to persuade Congress party to come back and some other parties which are opposed to government business. And to the walk practically every day it is being disturbed. Not senior level, I would say the Prime Minister should have approached Sonia Gandhi and other leaders of the opposition. Let's meet. What are the objections? Let's pass these 2 bills. On land acquisition, for instance, amendments are withdrawn. But that could have been used as a bargaining chip. Telling the Congress party, we have removed this amendment, now it is your bill, so now we can pass. Same thing with GST. It is their bill. It arrived at a combined effort of Congress and the BJP over 10 years. Now, Prime Minister should have taken some initiative to arrive at a consensus. I am surprised no initiative has been taken. So responsibility for if Parliament doesn't transact any business during the next 3 days, whether this bill or some other bill or other business, responsibility lies with both Congress as well as the government for not letting Parliament function. It will be both, not one.
So, Sanket, Dua Sahab, is abundantly clear that the responsibility lies with both sides for the stalemate. Of course, he would have been much happier had there been a serious initiative from the government side. He believes there's been none.
Now, Javed, one question before we let you go. What gives the government so much confidence that they will be able to sail through? Because we were showing a presentation just a short while back where a lot of these regional satraps are, speaking in favor of the GST. But more or less their concerns have in fact been met. Is that the thing that is giving the government the confidence that they'll sail through?
I'm not so sure if they are confident of it sailing through. They are intent on making a larger point. And yesterday, Mr. Arun Jaitley alluded to it, saying that the Congress party, they want to expose...
Isolate Congress.
Yes, they want to show to the country that the Congress is actually opposed to economic reforms. It doesn't want the country to improve economically, and therefore, all this is just a ruse. Their main thing was they don't allow the GST bill to be passed. That's why they brought it. Because 68 of Congress, 10 of CPM makes it 78 in the Lok Sabha, in the Raj Sabha. So by the government, by no stretch of imagination, then can manage a 2/3 majority. This is a constitution amendment bill. So they know that this is a fait accompli. What they are trying to do by bringing in this bill, slating it for discussion, is to try and expose the Congress, to try and score a political point.
Okay, so a perception battle, political point, all of that is expected in Parliament as the government wants to make that one last push to prevent this from being a monsoon washout. Javed Ansari, Executive Editor, India Today. Many thanks for joining us from outside Parliament.